good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. I'm here to talk about AI opportunities, and you are here because we are in the fourth industrial revolution. And all of you know that after the steam-based machine, after the electrical energy-based mass production, and after computer and internet-based knowledge, now it's the fourth industrial revolution, or the second information revolution. And it seems that AI is not dedicated to the academy and paper anymore. And AI is for all, such that the chairman of Nokia in 2018 said that every employee should have a basic understanding of machine learning, including himself. And it seems that the AI knowledge is changing from a nice to have skill to a must skill. So nowadays, AI is for everyone. Canada has already emerged as one of the global leaders in AI with millions of dollars in investment. Almost all top and famous AI or AI-related companies are presented in Canada, even in the small cities. Some of them are like Mila, OpenAI, Amazon, IBM, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, LG, Samsung, NVIDIA, and Apple. So what is the AI I'm talking about? I used to define the AI as the machine ability to think and act like human, until I faced with the very nice book of prediction machines, authored by 3 economists and professors at Rotman School of Management in University of Toronto. So they defined AI as the machine prediction ability. So AI is the machine prediction ability. And what is the prediction? Prediction is the process of filling in missing information in uncertain conditions using the data you have. So remember that uncertain condition may refer to the past, present, or future. Also remember that prediction is one of the main elements of decision making, why it is completely different. So in everyday basis, you are facing with many decision makings from early in the morning till late at night. And one of the main elements of that decision making is prediction. And now the prediction can be done by machine. So AI is the machine prediction ability, and machine learning is a group of AI algorithm. Recently, we had a big jump in AI because of the advent of deep learning as a subset of machine learning algorithms. And also, there is a close relation between AI and data science. You know, AI is not new, but it seems that with new high configuration machines and with the availability of big data, recently we had a big jump in AI algorithm, probably from 2012. Also, we can see AI in the industry from 2014 with the development of smart speakers. So we can say obviously that AI is in industry now. So AI is not new, but it's like AI was born again in 2012. And with the advent of AI in 2012, the cost of prediction drops because AI is the machine prediction ability. So when we have the machine prediction abilities, it's like the cost of prediction drops. And when something is cheap in economy, we use it more. So recently, we have more predictive applications and programs. Also, many companies, startups have been grown up relying on AI. So I said prediction nowadays is cheap. Um, and again, in economy, remember that cheap creates value. So what does that mean? Let me give you an example I've heard from the authors of the prediction machine book. Um, Actually, I like this example so much, so I use it in all my presentations. Suppose that the cost of coffee drops. So it's obvious that we have a high demand for coffee and low demand for tea. But meanwhile, increasing the value of coffee complementary, which is sugar and cream. So similarly, it is happening for the prediction in the AI era. Now, prediction is cheap. It means that we have a high demand for predictive application, and low human resource is needed for predictive tasks. And similarly, there is increasing in the value of the AI complementary. What are the AI complementaries? The main one is data and judgment, action, tools, strategy, and society. So I said predictive tasks and jobs are going to be replaced with the AI applications. So soon we are going to face with the lack of enough AI experts and engineers. You can find actually a high number of advertised job positions by a simple Googling. For example, in Toronto, in the last month, more than 170 computer vision jobs are advertised. And these are actually the jobs that you can easily see at Google, but the real number is much, much higher. And please keep in mind that Ontario leads AI in Canada. As another example, Quebec City, which is a small city in Canada. In Quebec, more than 80 companies, including some 20 foreign subsidiaries, are producing or using AI solutions in their everyday business. So, of course, in Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, Vancouver, the number are far higher. And you can find some specific job titles in this slide, something like machine learning researcher, machine learning engineer, data scientist, AI engineer, and so on. And these job positions actually have high salaries. For example, in Canada, the average data scientist salary is $140,000 per year. And for a machine learning engineer, it's $140,000 per year. And also you should note that the entry-level position starts at maybe something around $40,000, but the most experienced workers maybe make up to more than $200,000 per year. So it's a high number. And if you look at the job advertisements and if you check their required skills, you can find some important required skills that is common in all the advertisements. I have 3 of them here. For example, one of the main requirements is having experience in software development, preferably in C++ and Python, and using modern tools. The other one is being up to date on the latest deep neural networks research and architecture, both in understanding the theory and motivation behind the techniques, as well as how to implement them in machine learning framework of your choice. It's important to know programming, and it's important to know deep neural network architectures. And also the last main required skills I mentioned in this slide is having experience with high-level machine learning frameworks such as TensorFlow, Keras, Caffe, PyTorch, and being familiar with others. So, so far, any questions so far? Okay. I talked about the importance of AI and the large group of job positions. And because in this era, we have a high demand for predictive application and products, soon we are going to face with the lack of enough AI experts and engineers. And also, I have mentioned that in this era, the complementary of AIs are getting important. And one of the main complementary of the AI applications is data. So if there's no question, I'm going to talk about data in a couple of minutes. And later on, I'm going to explain our plan. Okay. So talking about data, I can divide the data into 2 main categories of unstructured data and structured data. If you are dealing with image or video, audio, music, speech, text or document, you're dealing with unstructured data. And the remaining and the big group of the data is the structured data. The structured data covers a very large group of industries. So let's see some applications of AI in each of these categories. If your data is image or video, you're talking about machine vision applications. And you can find more than hundreds of applications for image processing, for machine vision or computer vision, in which the data is of image or video. One of them is image classification. So you can use that image classification task in hundreds of applications depending on your type of data. For example, in medical science, in agriculture, in everything. And similarly for image recognition, like face recognition, for object detection, again for object segmentation, if you want to segment an image to extract different parts. Image generation, which is actually a high trend these days. For object tracking, for example, in self-driving cars. For image reconstruction, if you have some old images and you want to reconstruct them. In image enhancement, to remove the noise, to denoising them. And also for handwritten character recognition. So these are actually some examples of that tens or thousands of applications, and you can use either of these tasks on your business, depending on your industry. If your data is text or document, then you're talking about natural language processing, or in brief, NLP. NLP also have many applications like machine translation, sentiment analysis. Recently, sentiment analysis is very famous and is used actually practically in AI marketing, in a policy for analyzing voting or many other things. One of the NLP applications is question answering or chatbots. Again, you can use your chatbot in CRM, customer relationship management, in your business. So you can replace some employees with that chatbot to answer the questions of the customers in as 24 hours a day. So the other application of NLP is automatic summarization, text or document classification, again, handwritten character recognition, and spell checking. So you can see there are tens of, again, applications of NLP in which AI, and especially these days, deep learning is used as a solution. And if your data is audio, something like speech or music, again, you can find many applications like automatic speech recognition, in which a waveform is transforming to a word, the text. And the reverse process is called text-to-speech, or TTS. Speech-to-speech translation. Recently, we had a paper from Google in which speech is directly translated to another speech in the new language. Also, you can have voice bot instead of chatbot, because you know, the chatbot only deals with the text, but if you have speech recognition in the beginning, and if you have a text-to-speech at the end, these three modules, speech recognition, chatbot, and text-to-speech, can make a voice bot for you with the same purpose. And if your data is of music, you can have music classification, you can have automatic composer, and many more applications. So you can find many applications in that unstructured data, image, text, and audio. And as I said, the structured data covers even bigger group of applications. You can find structured data in almost everywhere, like in AI marketing, as an example, the recommender systems, in finance, in healthcare, medical science, in law, in astronomy, and many more areas. So it's obvious that so simple. We are using AI to replace the predictive tasks with application and products. And the tasks and the applications can cover a very large group of areas. Any questions so far? If there's no question, I'm going to talk about who we are and what is our plan. We are Synnovate Institute of Research and Education, in brief, SIRE. Our mission is improving scientific knowledge of researchers and learners in science and technology through holding online courses and working on R&D projects. And our vision is making a proficient collaboration platform for all researchers and professors in science and technology to become a center of research and innovation and create high-tech career opportunities. And as a member of the AI team, I'd like to introduce the AI team of SIRE or Synnovate. Dr. Dariush Mortazavi, our CEO, and Dr. Mohammad Baradaran. I'm not sure if Dr. Mohammad is in the meeting, but we are actually a somehow small AI team in SIRE, but our goal, our plan is not small. So I'm going to talk about our plan, but before explaining our plan, I need to mention something about this survey. I know that some of you already filled the survey and you know that. I appreciate you. Also, I appreciate the people, the others, to take a couple of minutes to fill the form and help us to design the teams, the work groups, and the projects. So if you're connected with the Synnovate through social media, of course you have access to that link and you can fill the survey. Then I said something about the work groups and projects. In fact, we have some suggested projects, but we need to make the team. And for that purpose, we appreciate you to fill out the survey to make our team and start implementing the projects. In this slide, I have some suggested projects. But as I said, it is just suggested projects. I divided them into some categories like image recognition. You can find some titles, just title of the project, like contactless payment using face recognition and smart shopping carts, user authentication. User authentication can be done by face recognition or speech recognition or iris recognition or whatever. Parking lot payment using plate recognition and available spot indication, 2 sensors. Image-based defect detection in production line. These are actually, as I said, some examples. And if you're not interested in recognition, you can join us in the other category, activity recognition, for anomaly detection or for car tracking. And also we have some suggested projects which is related to kids, the AI for kids, which is actually my favorite. Some of the projects are making toys or apps for kids, I mean mobile applications. Having fun with drawing apps for the little kids, like kindergarten to the grade 3. The reading assistant application, again for the same category, kindergarten to grade 3. Contactless kids activity or health monitoring. These are some examples that we can start working on for kids. And again, if you are interested in the natural language processing, NLP, you can go on with our projects in sentiment analysis, in both marketing and policy, election prediction, or AI marketing. And also, if you're interested in chatbot, in conversational AI, you can join us in the last group. Any questions so far? I don't like to explain all these projects in detail, and our projects actually is not limited to this slide. It is just suggested projects, but I can explain just one of them. If you are tired of policy and marketing like me, you can join us with the AI for Kids. And I'm going to explain one of the applications for kids, which is a reading assistant application. How do we collaborate with you on certain projects? Okay, I'm going to reply this question soon. Thank you for asking. Ehsan said, I have a question. Okay, you can feel free. You can unmute your microphone and ask me a question, even if
Hello.
Yeah, hey.
Hello, do you have my sound?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. I have a question about software. Can we have use the MATLAB for AI? MATLAB software.
Yeah,
I want to know that. Is it usual? Is it common to use for using MATLAB for working with for coding with AI, or no? I want to know because I asked this question because for example, I'm a mechanical engineering and we have some code in MATLAB. If I could to write some code about AI in this MATLAB, this is very simple. Instead using C++ or Python.
I know. Yeah, I got your question.
Is it any limitation about MATLAB?
You know, MATLAB and Python are very similar. I personally recommend you, if you want to work on an AI project, it's better to switch to Python. As far as I know, one of the limitations of MATLAB is maybe the software is so heavy, but the Python has, you know, many benefits, like because it's a trend in all the AI community. If you find a paper, for example, in 2020, you can easily find the source code of that paper in Python, first of all. And a small group of developers use MATLAB, so it's not convenient. But of course, there are some toolbox in MATLAB, and you can do that.
Thank you. The
license of the MATLAB is too costly. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And I want to know that what's the relation between neural network and AI? is the neural network is AI completely or not?
Okay, it's a good question. Let me go back. Oh, it's too much. Sorry. Okay. Do you? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Do you remember this Van chart?
Okay.
Artificial neural network is a subset of machine learning. And I can say deep learning is completely included in the artificial neural network application. Did you get it?
Thank you, thank you. And for the last question, I want to know that the application of, for example, neural network in a mathematical problem. For example, I want to solve a PDE, partial differential equation, for example. For example, we have some methods such as finite element method. Is it a capability of neural network for solving PDEs? Or we can use this method for solving the PDE?
If you can find a good representation for that differential equation, in my opinion, and also you need to talk with some AI expert, but in your case, you're asking if you can use an AI for solving a differential equation, right?
Definitely, definitely.
Because differential equation is kind of tricky. So there is no obvious solution for every equation. And it's like for different equations, you have various solutions, right? This is the problem.
Definitely. Okay.
Okay. So in my opinion, if you can find a good representation for that differential equation, of course you can solve it with the AI applications. Why not? And also, if you have a large data set containing the equation and the solution, okay? If you have the equation and the solution and the data set of that equation solutions, then you can train a neural network to solve that problem.
And which one is better? I want to know the advantage and disadvantage, because some paper uses the artificial neural network. Maybe this is related to time of solving, or another reason, or maybe just choose another option for solving problem.
So you need to evaluate. I cannot answer this question at this moment because you need to search the papers, and especially if you read the surveys on this problem, so
Thank you
you
so
can
much.
compare. Yeah, thank you for asking. Okay, I'm talking about the suggested projects, and sorry if I missed some of your questions. I would rather to go ahead, and if I missed any question, please ask at the end of the presentation. Thank you. I would like to give an example of that project, which is the reading assistant application for kids. So let me tell you my story about this application. Well, it was the beginning of the lockdown caused by the COVID-19. And I was told that you need to teach your kids according to whatever the teacher at the school says. So I was like, I am a super busy mom, so how I can spend that time to teach my kids? So I looked for applications, and I faced with a library containing 40,000 books. And the library have a very nice feature which is called read along. And surprisingly, in 6 months, um, I found that my 6-year-old kid, without any teacher, without my intervention, has learned how to read. And it was actually like a miracle. And um, I was thinking, like, why don't we have such application for Persian language for kids? Or even for French language for adults, for the people who are already in Canada and are interested to learn French language, because you know their reading assistant application is like it reads the sentence word by word for you, and the focus word is highlighted, so you can see the pronunciation of that focus word very nicely. So this is actually one example I wanted to mention, and I was thinking how to implement that reading assistant app, and I came up with this idea that a simple speech processing or NLP is needed, and you need to know a little bit of image processing. So this is actually one of the examples, but for other projects also, if you know image processing, you can go ahead with the image processing projects. If you're interested in NLP, you can go ahead with our NLP projects. And sometimes some of our projects are kind of multimodal. So we have combination of both the text and image and even speech. Also, I need to add that in Synnovate, in SIRE, we have some supportive courses. Our courses are divided into two groups, non-interactive courses and interactive courses. Introduction to Python, introduction to AI and machine learning, unsupervised learning. These are some examples of our courses that were someday interactive, but nowadays these are non-interactive courses. But if there are enough number of participants, we can again start that courses as interactive course. And we have some interactive courses, online courses. Soon in the next month, we are going to launch 2 new interactive courses in image and text. So you can find the poster of these 2 courses in this slide. The left one is image processing and computer vision in Python. If you are interested in that project, in this course, we are going to teach image processing from scratch with Python, of course. And the right one is deep learning for NLP with Python. Again, in the right one, in the NLP course, we are going to teach NLP from scratch in the first part. And remember that our courses are 10 plus 1 sessions. The one extra bonus session is the session for defining the projects. So we define the projects in the courses so that in a team working, you implement the project, you develop a product, or publish a paper. And also, I need to add that we have some lab sessions. Our lab sessions help you to get familiar with important Python libraries. Moreover, don't worry if you're not in Canada, don't worry if you're not in Iran. We are going to implement projects, develop products, or publish papers in a distance team working. We can have weekly or bi-weekly meeting for collaborations. We can use Trello, Monday.com, or any other platforms for task assignment to the team members. And I know that it is possible because I know some companies that are highly relying on the distance team working, like I know the Colab Speech and Language, which is one of the companies in speech processing. The employees are across the world and they are distance working together. So it is possible. And to wrap up, to summarize our aims, if you join us, you can learn AI, machine learning, deep learning, data science concepts, and corresponding well-known Python packages. If you join us, you can add certificate to your CV. If you join us, you can get working reference letter from Synnovate or SIRE. If you join us, you can work under supervision of a P-Eng to get certified for the P-Eng license, which is familiar for the Iranians who are for the people who are in Canada, but maybe the Iranian in Iran doesn't know that. Anyway, if you join us, you can gain confidence and expand your job opportunities. If you join us, you can publish papers in conference and journals if you want. And if you join us, you can work on startup ideas in a team. So to do so, again, I appreciate you to fill that survey form and help us to make our teams, and also stay tuned with us to our social media for further updates. So depending on each social media that you're working with, you can follow us in any of our social media. So it's the end of my presentation, and I know that there are some questions. I'm here, and I appreciate Dr. Dariush and Dr. Mohammed if you're available to help me in the Q&A. Thank you so much. I see a question about the funding of the projects. So I appreciate Dr. Dariush if you help me to answer this question.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, everybody, for participating in this very nice webinar. And thanks, Dr. Azam, for this very great presentation and for putting her too much time on in preparing this very excellent and informative presentation. As Dr. Azam explained, we have had so many courses and boot camps in technology. So some of them are technology oriented. There are niche technology of today's market in, for example, for artificial intelligence and IoT, Internet of Things. We have had so many courses so far. They're in boot camps. And as you know, if we merge artificial intelligence and IoT together, we can define very, very great and productive projects. We are trying to make some courses project-oriented like AI and IoT, so that the students who attend the courses not only learn the course, they can get hands-on experience and directly involved in some R&D projects. And if the projects go very well, so there are many benefits on these projects, including getting the certificate, getting job reference letter for your employer, for your getting job for your P-Eng applications, and for involving in a grant application. And the grant application, as asked, there are many different types of grants in Canada. So in one of our webinars, we talked about NSERC grant. If you go to our website, you can watch the video about the NSERC grants. Insert grants are the grants which are given to industries and academia if they work on a research and development project collaboratively. There are many other types like shared grants, IRAP grants. There are many different types of grants. So we are going to apply for these grants in our projects, but provided that the projects have a good proposal and we work very well on these projects, they have good, if we can produce good prototype on these projects. And at the end, we can even commercialize these projects together in forming some startups. Some of our other courses are courses which are in demand of Canada, like the building construction course, which is very important for civil and architecture engineers. We have had so many courses in this, in software-based courses or in introducing these standards. Some of the courses are the exam preparation courses for PNG, for PMP, for LEAD. So we have a wide range of courses for engineers to help them develop their professional knowledge and to get to a better job, to develop, to jump to a very better opportunity in their life, career life. So I think I answered your question about the grants. There are many types of the grants, and we are going to, depending on the type of project, we will work on each type of grant. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Someone asks if the session is recorded. I think yes. Someone asked how we can join your group. As I said, you can stay tuned with our social media, and also if you feel that survey link, I appreciate Dr. Dariush if you share the survey link again in the chat box. But if you are connected with us in any social media, you can easily find that survey link. So we can assign you to either of our projects, and you can attend our courses in which we are going to explain the projects. Where is the center of your institute located? It's in Canada, but don't worry, you can work with that project in a group with us if you are anywhere around the world. Would you please write your LinkedIn address, Dr. Muhammad? I don't know if he's in the meeting. Okay, could we collaborate with you as an internship? Dr. Dariush, I appreciate you. Could we collaborate with you as an internship? Yeah, Dr. Dariush, if you hear me.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah. So someone asked if he or she can join us as an internship. I don't know. Dr. Dariush can know. I mean, Dr. Dariush can answer.
So it depends on the projects. Once we define these projects, if they go very well, so we can have some internship. But I don't know what she or he means from internship. What expectations do you have from internship?
Mm-hmm. If you need the paperwork, you can, feel free to unmute your microphone. You can talk easily. If you need the paperwork, I think Synnovate can make the paperwork for you. If you want to register in our courses, feel free. We can do that. You can join our projects to collaborate in a team with us and implement a project and make a product. Requires training prerequisites for your presence in work teams. As I said, our plan is to implement the projects with Python. So if you don't know, don't worry at all. You can register in our courses, because in our courses we are going to teach the concepts, the important Python libraries from scratch. So You can join us and learn and improve your knowledge, and meanwhile have some working experience. Can we use machine learning in energy sector? Why not? Such as energy consumption management or predicting energy consumption and examining energy consumption behaviors, or how? Any task that is somehow predictable. If you have enough data of that task, enough data of the past, you can use machine learning, you can use deep learning algorithm to train such model to do that prediction for you automatically. What qualities you are looking for to cooperation? As I said, if you are zero, you can start from our courses. So don't worry. Talking about the quality of the output, again, I can mention that our goal is to publish paper. Our goal is to have products. So depending on your target, of course, we are looking for high quality outputs, but don't worry if your current knowledge is not enough, you can join us and you can improve your knowledge in our courses. Mrs. Saifi has a question. You can unmute your microphone. You can ask in Persian if you're okay.
No, I am okay. I want to know that narrative science and the data storytelling is
Narrating.
Yes, narrative science.
So are you talking about TTS?
No, I just read about the.
Sorry, your voice is noisy.
Data.
I didn't get your question.
Okay, can I write?
Okay, sure. So is course attendance required for joining projects? Dr. Dariush, I appreciate you to answer this question. Is course attendance required for joining projects?
Yes, of course. Not course attendance, but course enrollment is required. So you can enroll in the course, but you don't have to attend all the courses because the courses will be recorded. But you have to enroll in the course, attend in courses as much as you can. And because we talk about these projects during the course, so the projects review will be during the course, and every session we may talk 10 minutes or 15 minutes. We take 10 or 15 minutes of the course to talk about projects, and Dr. Azam and Dr. Muhammad will direct the project. So if you have not enrolled in the course, you cannot join the online course, and then you will be you won't have any contact or touch with our instructors or project directors.
Thank you. So again, is it a long-term project? Depending on the project can be 6 months or shorter or longer.
In average, we are trying to define it in around 6 months.
6 months, yeah.
6 to 9 months, depends on the project.
Okay, 6 to 9 months. Can we suggest some projects to you? Sure. Please go to that survey, the survey link. Then you can add your suggested project as well. May I ask you a question? Sure.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hello.
Yeah, I have your voice.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Sure.
Okay, can I ask a question? Maybe it's related to all participants or the doctors, who is responsible for this group. So I wonder if anybody in this group, or I mean the doctors, Dr. Muhammad, you or anybody related to this institute, did you work on base of, because recently COVID-19 spread all the world? Did you have any project using machine learning to have a database and solve and predict the behavior of the COVID-19 in the societies, in any societies, even it is like example or not? Because since 6 months ago in Iran we had some project, but we couldn't find any group here in Iran to solve this by machine learning. As far as concerned to me, and I know I found some applications, but they were from UN. For example, in the spreading like Ebola in the Africa, so they use machine learning to have this kind of like a platform to predict the behavior of COVID-19 viruses and this kind of thing in the society. Okay, I wonder if you have this ability or the capability to solve this kind of like spreading the viruses by the machine learning. If yes, however, it is example or it's the pilot. Okay, let me know, because I have some customers that they are eager to predict this kind of like the behavior of COVID-19 and how we can get involved. If you have this ability, so let me know, and we can have like our RFP for a request for proposal. If you can do it, so I can match you by the to the customers or blah blah blah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. It's a hot topic these days, and as I said, if you have any suggested project title or topic, please feel free and go to our survey page form and fill that form, and then after the webinar we can discuss and see if we can make a team and we can solve that problem.
So firstly, I wanted to know you have ability, or did you check, or did you done some project in this regard, or because in this regard the data, the valid data is so important, because nobody gives you the valid data, so you need some sample data to run your, I don't know, this kind of machine learning or whatever that you call it, I don't know. So by valid data, because any government that doesn't let you to access to this kind of like a real data of the patient. So the problem is that if you able to do that, so firstly you need to run by these kind of like example and this kind of data, not valid data, like. And the second is how we can expand it as an application for that. Okay, by the way, thank you for your, to answer my question, and I'll keep in touch after the conference. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for asking the question. And as far as I know, there's no current active project in this area. But as you said, we need to evaluate if we can have access to the data. The main issue is the data. Otherwise, the rest of the project is straightforward. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. In your courses and projects, is there any job or research opportunity for a mechanical engineering AI? For example, you talked about shape detections in production lines and stuff like this. Is there any job opportunity or research opportunity for a mechanical engineer?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Well, in my case personally, I didn't have any mechanical engineering student or a teammate. And at this moment, I don't remember any project title to explain to you. But anyway, of course there is. And as I said, any task that is predictable can be replaced with AI. So you need to think about different problems and different tasks that you have in your major, and we can discuss later. Please keep in touch. You can stay connected with our LinkedIn or any other social media and we can discuss later on.
Yes, thank you. And also, if we have an idea which is not complete yet but could be, can we interact with you?
Yeah, sure. I am available. I would be more than happy to help you if I can.
Okay, thank you a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for asking. Okay. Any other question? A question which is probably again related to Dr. Dariush. Is there possibility of collaborating on these projects between a university and your company? Dr.
Yes,
Dariush?
this type of collaboration, as I told you, based on some grants, which is called ence grants. Yeah, it's possible we can apply as an industrial partner to universities or colleges. We can prepare a proposal on the project and get it approved by ence, which is a government sector. And yes, there is a possibility, and we are going to do so. Yes, as I told you, there are many different type of government grants. One of them is ence, and it's based on this type of collaboration.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. So, narrative science and data storytelling are subfield of NLP, right? It's actually subfield of speech processing as well, because there is a close relation between speech processing and NLP. Do we have any training period before starting the project? Yes, if you attend in our courses, you can train and you can learn the basics, and then you can start the project with us. So I talked about our projects, which is 10 session plus 1 bonus session. In that bonus session, we are going to explain the projects, and that bonus session can be in the middle of the course. So you have a couple of sessions, then one session to explain the projects, and then the rest of the courses. So it's like we have enough time to train. And okay, آقای دکتر من یه تیکر رو فارسی صحبت میکنم. سوال پرسیدن که با توجه به قیمت دلار برای ما که ایران هستیم هزینه کلاس سنگینه راهی پیشنهاد میکنیم؟
قیمت کورس ها خیلی زیاد نیست حتی به هزینه ایران. ما از همه کورس همون خیلی ارزون گرفتیم، ولی میتونیم حالا با هم دیگه صحبت کنیم. اگر لطفا کنید دکتر اون اسلایدی که مربوط به میدیای ما هست و ایمیل ما رو نوشته بودید بیارید، دوستان اونجا یه عکس بگیرن و بعد با هم دیگه در تماس باشیم تا بتونیم راه حلی پیدا کنیم.
علاوه بر این آقای دکتر امکان پرداخت هم وجود داره برای کسایی که دسترسی به
امکان پرداختش هست، میتونن به ریال پرداخت کنن. زمانی که شما میرید توی قسمت خرید کورس دو تا آپشن داره، یکی آنلاین هستش یکی آفلاین. آنلاین از طریق پیپل صورت میگیره، آفلاینش کش که نه ای ترانسفر یا کش هست. ممکنه ایمیل آدرسمون توی همین پیج اد کنید که همش یک جا باشه.
حتما.
مرسی.
دکتر امکانش هست یه اسکرین شات شما بگیرید این رو اضافه بکنید، چون من واقعا کنترلر رو گم کردم.
منم چون یه مقداری ببخشید.
Would you please introduce okay, Dr. Dariush Murtazavi. He is our CEO. Could you please explain about the process of educating during doing project? Is there a kind of mentorship? Yes, as I said, if you register in our courses, you have a couple of beginning sessions. We have one session to introduce our projects, and then from the rest of the sessions, we are again introducing some concepts, Python packages, and also we make our teams, and we can have weekly meeting or bi-weekly meeting to have the mentorship. Could you please tell us about deep neural network? Deep neural network is a subset of machine learning algorithm completely relying on artificial neural network. It's actually a new science, not very new. It started somehow from 2012, and I think that's enough. If Mr. Ehsan, if you need more details, please ask. If anybody did a project in this regard, please send me briefly, then I will contact respectively which regard. Sorry. Okay, can you repeat the course expenses? You can go to our website, synnovateinc.com, and then you can find the whole list of courses and the prices and everything. Okay, there's no more question. Thank you, everyone. Any other question, Doctor?
I just added the email address of our email address and the link of the course enrollment, and you can all the participants can see the list of our courses there and email us at info@synnovate.ca. And as I told you, there are two methods of payment. There is online payment and offline payment. Online payment will be done through PayPal. In offline payment, you can you can pay e-transfer or cash or whatever. And about the price of the courses are very cheap. So for example, we have arranged 2 courses in AI. One of them, as Dr. Azam explained, is in it is in computer vision and image processing using Python. The other one is in NLP, again using Python. And both of them, each one is 10-session course, and just $100 is the price of the course. But it's early bird enrollment. I think the early bird enrollment is by September 30th. And after that, it will be increased a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share the slides. Dr. Dariush, what do you think? Someone has asked if we can share the slides.
That's up to you. This is your slides. If you're okay, that's okay.
I don't know. I can share it. There's no secret things.
Here,
just...
you can even share it here. So I think in chat box, there's a file. If you open the chat box, there's a file. You can open it from, you can share it from there.
Or if you connected with me, I can send you later on, Mrs. Shiva. Thank you so much. Again, this same question. Without attending training courses, can we become a member of your team? I think the answer is no. Any other question? Thank you, Doctor. Is it the end of the webinar? Ehsan, do you have any question? Please unmute your, okay, unmute your.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your excellent presentation. Maybe my last question is boring, excuse me. It is my challenge. I want to know that, consider, you know, that the BSP line is a curved graph, okay? If I have some data on a BSP line, exact data, okay, therefore we have the input data, and we want to know other points, such as, I don't know that, you know, control point of BSP line. Consider we have a function that that input data is valid and we have it, okay? Can I by using the neural network or AI for finding the output found. I don't know that in my question. You're give my question. You're giving my question.
I have a suggestion. Would you please stay connected with me on LinkedIn? To share my.
Yes, it's a great. But I don't have your link.
I will. Okay. It's in the chat now. So
thank you.
Please. Okay, sorry to everyone. Okay. So please stay connected through LinkedIn, and I'm available to help you in your question. Thank you. I want to have more information.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Excuse me. Thank you. And I want to know, consider we have a let's say heavy code in MATLAB for some novelty in our paper. We decided to use a neural network. Do you think we can solve the problem just with MATLAB software, or we need to use let's say for example link between the MATLAB and Python? I don't know. But it is very better to do all things in the MATLAB. Firstly, because I'm in the proposal situation, I don't know that is it possible for let's say write all code in this MATLAB, but the runtime maybe it is very less heavy because the problem is time dependent. And I don't know the extra complexity of using neural network.
So of course, MATLAB has the artificial neural network toolbox, but using the toolbox depends on your network architecture, data, and everything. So you need to evaluate and you need to see. So please stay connected on LinkedIn, and I am available to answer all your questions about MATLAB and your projects on the equation and everything. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So please, Mr. Hadi, who is he? Which courses are the goal of this meeting? There are two future courses. We are going to launch the two courses soon in October. Let me show you the courses. These are these two. Okay. So any other question? Again, I appreciate you. I appreciate Dr. Dariush. And thank you so much. If you're in Canada, have a good weekend. If you're in Iran, have a good evening. And Shiva, please stay connected with me on LinkedIn. I will share the slides with you. Okay. And another question? How many hours is the course you can find in this slide? I'm not sure if you can see the supportive courses. So we can find the number of hours. It's 10 weeks, and every week we have one session of 2 hours. So it's 20 hours. Can I have your LinkedIn, please? Sure, again. This is my LinkedIn. Sure, Mr. Hadi. Okay. Dr. Dayush, I think there is no question.
Thanks, everybody. I just have written my or email address on this slide. I don't know if the participants can read it or not. Can you read it, Dr.?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. So I can see. So please email us if you have any further questions about courses or projects. So we will be happy to be in touch with you. Thank you, everybody.
Sure. Thank you, and have a good evening. Have a good afternoon, and enjoy your time. Okay, bye.